We welcome you to George Sparky Anderson Field as we begin Week 6 action, the California Collegiate League, as it's the Conejo Oaks versus the MLB Academy Barons alongside Sammy Fawn. I'm Judo Kanyas, and the Oaks will look to extend what is a 2-game winning streak heading into this week. The Oaks, they had an up-and-down week last week. They lost some games they probably shouldn't have lost, but they've been able to bounce back. That was Saturday and Sunday wins. Now have them on a 2-game win streak. What are you looking for the Oaks, who have some tough teams this week?
Yeah, and they have the MLB Academy Barons currently 5th in the CCL South. I think, honestly, the main thing I'm looking for, the Oaks want redemption against the Barons. The last time these two teams faced each other was the game when the Barons upset the Oaks in the 9th inning with a 5-run comeback. It all ended on a 3-run walk-off home run by Tommy Gooden, who is indeed in the starting lineup today. So I think the Oaks will definitely want a different result from what they got last time against the Barons.
Yes, certainly will. They open up play here versus the MLB Academy Barons for the last time this season, as they have met 6 times already. Their last meeting came, like you mentioned, it was that 8-7 victory by the Academy Barons, but that was back on June 22nd. So it's been about 2 weeks and some change since the Oaks and the MLB Academy Barons have faced off, and on the mound is the regular Tuesday starter, Charlie Decker, making his now 5th start of the season. He's pitched in a total of 18 innings, has a team-leading 19 strikeouts, and at the plate first for the MLB Academy Barons is Chip Mertz, their second baseman. Decker with a 3.0 ERA has 2 wins and 1 loss on the season. We welcome you to George Sparky Anderson Field as it's a beautiful Tuesday. As the first pitch here at 4:32 is outside for a ball. We'll get into your starting your batting order for the MLB Barons. Chip Mertz at the plate, Nathaniel Williams, Antonio Lujan. As Charlie Decker fits in his strike. The middle of the order is Tommy Gooden, Nigel Buckle, Hunter Backstrom, Jason Del Villar, Jordan Carrington, and then on the bat and the cleanup is J.J. Nielsen. As that's driven into right field, it's going to drop for a base hit. Daniels attempts to get over it, and Mertz is turning it for 2 as the relay comes in, and it's not going to be in time as it's a double for Chip Mertz to get things started for the Barons.
Yeah, it's a great start for the MLB Academy Barons and a great piece of hitting there by Chip Mertz. Certainly a very strong leadoff hitter for the Barons and a pretty consistent batter, batting .245 on the season, has picked up his 14th hit.
Yeah, came into this game on a 7-game hitting streak, has now extended that to 8 with a leadoff double. At the plate is Nathaniel Williams, who has been a monster this season for the Barons, leads the team and also is tied for first in the California Collegiate League with 4 home runs. As he takes the ball inside, he leads the team with a .418 batting average, 23 runs, as well as 28 hits. Has recorded a hit in 5 of the past 6 games he's played. The 1-0 to Williams. Looks at the ball low. Now getting to your defensive things, it's Jacob Galloway behind the dish for another time for the Conejo Oaks. From first base, it's Devin Wilkes. At second, Cade Falskin. At third, Tyler Hawley. And at shortstop, it's Zach Moore. As it's a 2-0 count to Williams. Williams looks at a strike on the corner. Count is now 2-1. And from left to right, it's Jake Schwartz, Jax Jimenez, and Lucas Danuwitz. Man in the outfield is Tommy Kenlinger, your everyday center fielder for the Oaks, has the day off. A 2-1 count to Williams. As that's chopped foul just to the left. Well, the Barons, they are 5th in the California Collegiate League South Division, but they are first in all of the California Collegiate League with 15 home runs. In fact, in past 4 out of 6 games that the Barons and Oaks have played, the Barons have hit at least 1 home run. It's a 2-2 count now to Nathaniel Williams. Hits that foul off to the right. Yeah, like we mentioned, it was Tommy Gooden who had the 3-run walk-off home run down at MLB Youth Academy on June 22nd.
He had 2 home runs that game, in fact.
So it's a 2-2 count. Here comes the payoff from Decker. It's driven foul off to the right once again. So the Oaks sitting at 15-8, second in the California Collegiate League, are 13-4 at George Sparky Anderson Field, while the Barons are 8-13, and they're just 1-7 on the road this season. Still a 2-2 count to Williams. Another payoff from Decker. It's fouled off once again, and so it's the Oaks' best batter. It's the Oaks' best pitcher and the Barons' best batter going at it early here in the first inning.
Yeah, Williams was the first opposing player to hit a home run against the Conejo Oaks, and it was the first game that the Oaks had played on the road. It was back on June 13th.
Another 2-2 count here to Williams. The payoff from Decker. They're going to say it's fouled off the dirt by Williams, and
looked like it may have hit off his foot there.
So Williams standing strong against a tough pitcher and Charlie Decker. Williams, a sophomore at Santa Ana College, appeared in 37 games this past year, had 40 hits, 34 RBIs. For Charlie Decker, last start was in the 4-2 loss versus the Foresters. He went 5 innings, had 5 strikeouts, and only allowed 3 hits, 0 runs. It's the back half of the game that the Foresters were able to capitalize and win that game. The 2-2 pitch now to Williams. He chops that foul once again, and we got a great fight to get things started here as neither one is giving up.
Williams really making Decker work for his outs. And yeah, even though the Oaks did not win last Tuesday against the Foresters, Decker was outstanding. As you mentioned, 5 shutout innings. He's thrown 5 innings twice in a game.
Another 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Down goes Williams as Decker finally wins the battle and gets his first strikeout of the day.
Well, 2 very consistent athletes in an at-bat fighting for an out or a runner on base, and Decker wins the battle right there, gets a fastball by Williams. Williams, a dangerous hitter, so no small feat on that strikeout.
It's now Antonio Lujan, the left fielder today for the Academy Barons, as now 1 out, still a runner on second base is Chip Mertz. The first pitch from Decker. An off-speed strike on the corner. Count now 0-1. Well, the rankings just got released for the Week 5 of the California Collegiate League. The Conejo Oaks were ranked number 2 right behind the 17-7 Santa Barbara Foresters. The 0-1 pitch. It's driven foul off to the left. And the Academy Barons came in at 9th. So the Conejo Oaks moved up 1 spot from Week 4 to Week 5 to finishing 3-2. But the Barons didn't have the best week last week. They finished 1-3, but their only win did come in a shutout win on the road versus Santa Barbara Foresters, the top team in the South Division. The 0-2 pitch to Lujan. Low for a ball. Count now 1-2.
I mean, yeah, the Barons certainly can take some satisfaction in it being that the one team they did beat is the top seed in the CCL South, possibly all the CCL.
And for the Oaks, it was a strong way to finish the week as it's a 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Down goes Lujan as back-to-back strikeouts for Decker.
And Decker really had to work for both of those strikeouts, both Williams and Lujan putting up some very lengthy at-bats against Decker, which means he's had to throw a lot of pitches, and Decker is able to get the first 2 outs after allowing the leadoff double.
So now it's Tommy Gooden. Comes in batting .300 on the season. He's another guy that's been great for the Barons thus far. Has 3 home runs, which is second on the team this season. First pitch from Decker. Gooden takes a ball low and outside. Well, we talked about at the top of the show, but he was the hero last time these two teams played in the 9th inning, bottom of the 9th inning with 2 outs. He had a 3-run walk-off home run to win 8-7. The 1-0 pitch. Swing and a miss. Count now 1 ball, 1 strike.
And he had previously hit a home run that game in the 6th inning.
Yeah, the sophomore at Vanderbilt having himself quite the summer after making no appearances for Vanderbilt during the season. The 1-1 pitch to Gooden. Takes the ball high. Count now 2-1. Tommy Gooden, third on the team with 18 hits, leads the team with 19 RBIs. It's 2 sacrifice flies. 2-1 pitch to Gooden. Chops that fell off to the right as that lands pretty much into the dugout for the MLB Barons.
It's kind of crazy to think this is the last time in the regular season these two teams are playing each other. Just goes to show you how fast the season's gone and how fun it's been, too.
2-2 pitch. That one's crushed to right field as Danowitz goes back to the wall, and that ball is gone. Another home run for Tommy Gooden versus the Conejo Oaks. Opens up the scoring here as it's now 2-0.
Boy, Tommy Gooden with his third home run against the Conejo Oaks, his second consecutive against the Oaks, and that one was a no-doubter down the right field line. Gooden, he has found his groove against the Conejo Oaks pitching, and yeah, that one was definitely a no-doubter. That's his 4th home run of the season.
Yeah, he has now tied the team leader, which would be Nathaniel Williams, who also has 4, meaning Tommy Gooden is also tied now in the California Collegiate League for first in home runs, as it's now Nigel Buckley, the catcher, batting .250 on the season, only has 3 hits. Recently just joined the team as the kind of the depth for the Barons has seen a dip with injuries. The 1-0 as Decker fits one on the outside for a strike.
Yeah, Nigel Buckley, a rising sophomore at Cal State Dominguez Hills, batted .338 his freshman year.
As that one's chopped to third, Holly charges towards it, takes his time. The throw is well in time to Devin Wilkes at first base to get the third out, but it's a 2-run shot by Tommy Gooden, who's back for more, and the MLB Academy Barons leading 2-0 as we head to the bottom of the first inning. Head to the bottom of the first inning as it's already a 2-0 lead for the MLB Academy Barons as a Tommy Gooden 2-run shot to right field opens the scoring here as the Oaks will look to respond in the bottom of the first inning as it's Cade Falskin to get things started. The top of the batting order as he is now making his second straight appearance as the leadoff man for the Oaks, was the leadoff in the 8-1 win on Sunday versus the Philippines Baseball Group. The first pitch is a strike that he takes, and on the mound is Matthew Lorenzano for the MLB Academy Barons. making his 4th start, as Falskin rips that into center field, and Mertz is not able to get the play over there, and it's a leadoff single to get things started for the Oaks.
It's classic leadoff hitting there by Cade Falskin, that frozen rope line drive right over the head of Lorenzano and into center field. And by the way, that home run that was allowed by Charlie Decker in the first inning is the first he's allowed this season.
It's now Lucas Danuwitz, and getting to your Oaks batting order. It's Jacob Galloway due up next. Tyler Hawley, Devin Wilkes, Landon West, Jax Jimenez, Jake Schwartz, and in the bottom of the order is Zach Mora. As Danuwitz currently batting .274, second on the team with 20 hits. The 0-1 pitch, a swing and a miss. Counts now 0-2. Danuwitz just 1 hit in the past 3 games. Looking to get back on track here versus the Barons on Tuesday. The 0-2. That one's hit high and a fly ball into center field. Backstrom backs up a little from his post, makes the play off to his right, and that gets the first out of the inning. So now brings way to Jacob Galloway, who in the win versus the Philippines baseball group was 2 for 3, had an RBI, was hit by a pitch twice. One time in the foot, one time in the knee. Working on a 4-game hitting streak. He's batting .306 on the season, leads the team with 17 runs, has 19 hits. There's also a team-leading 18 RBIs. Someone who's a threat with any sort of runners on the bags. It's the first pitch here to Galloway. Takes the ball low and inside. Count 1-0. Getting to your defensive things for the MLB Academy Barons is Nigel Buckley behind the dish, Jordan Carrington at first base, Chip Mertz at second, Nathaniel Williams at third, J.J. Nielsen at shortstop. And then from left to right in the outfield, it's Antonio Lujan, as that's ripped into left field, and it's going to drop for a base hit. Falskin's going to hold at second. So another single. This time comes from Jacob Galloway. It's now 2 runners on for the Oaks. As Antonio Lujan out in left field, it's Hunter Backstrom in center, and Jason Del Villar in right field. That is your defensive things for the MLB Academy Barons here on a Tuesday.
Yeah, Oaks certainly in business with a great opportunity to respond to the Barons' 2-run first inning on the 2-run home run by Gooden.
So it's now Tyler Hawley up to the plate, the right-hander. First pitch takes one outside. So Cade Falskin on second base, Jacob Galloway at first. Hawley batting .269 on the season, 12 runs, 18 hits. Rips one to shortstop. That's going to be pitched over to Mertz. He's trouble controlling it, but the throw is in time as it's a 6-4-3 double play by the MLB Academy Barons to get out of the inning and leave one stranded as we head to the top of the second inning. Barons still with a 2-0 lead. back to the top of the second inning as the MLB Academy Barons already with an early 2-0 lead. But to get things started here, it's Hunter Backstrom, the center fielder for the MLB Academy Barons, as Decker now begins his second inning of action after allowing his first home run of the season in the first inning. It's a strike on the outside corner. 0-1 to Backstrom.
Yeah, it was certainly a long one right down the right field line into those trees and well over the wall.
The 0-1 pitch as it's fouled into the dirt. Backstrom down early in an 0-2 count. Yeah, 387 feet is what our track man says that ball went across the right field. And it really just skidded right by the right field foul line pole as it's an 0-2 pitch to Backstrom. And strike three. It's a 3-pitch strikeout to get things started for Charlie Decker in the second. Now his third of the day.
Yeah, Decker has shown himself as a strikeout pitcher, and I will say he struck out 2 batters in the first inning, but I think it really helped the Barons to be able to make him work a lot. You know, even though both Williams and Lujan struck out, they still played their parts in those innings by making him throw more pitches and work, and, you know, possibly buying themselves more time to get a good pitch with Tommy Gooden to drive it over the wall.
As Jason Del Villar hits one soft, and Tolley on the run is going to get there in time for the throw. Another great defensive play by this third baseman to get the second out.
Well, that's business as usual for Tyler Hawley. You saw him charge up as that chopper was hit rather shortly, and see him just get his glove down there and make a strike of a throw to Devin Wilkes at first.
Yeah, he had a similar play back on Sunday on the throw and a run. It's certainly his specialty. The two outs as it's now Jordan Carrington, the first baseman for the MLB Academy Barons. Batting .111 on the season, has 4 runs, 3 hits. Certainly someone you don't want to allow on the bags with 3 stolen bases, the 0-1. Another strike that Carrington looks at. It's now 0-2. You have to imagine that Decker's coming back into this inning with some vengeance on whatever batter he faces after allowing that home run. Now the 0-2 pitch to Carrington. Strike 3 as it's back 2 strikeouts in this inning. He retires the side, and we head to the bottom of the second. Still 2-0, MLB Academy Barons. Head to the bottom of the second inning here at George Sparky Anderson Field, as it's a quick shout out to our sponsor, Pizza Man Dan's out in Ventura County with 6 different locations. A hot pie is just one call away, as it's Devin Wilkes to step to the plate first, as Charlie Decker made quick work of 3 batters retiring the side in the top of the second inning to quickly get back to offense, as Wilkes rips that into right center field. Backstrom gets over to it, but not before Wilkes gets onto the bags. It's a single to get things started in the second inning.
First pitch swinging and first pitch delivering, and Wilkes just gapped that right where nobody was in right center field to get himself on to start the second. And we saw him go long ball on this past Saturday against the San Diego Waves. It was a no doubt home run to right field against the screen.
Yeah, now a 10-game hitting streak for Devin Wilkes as Landon West fouls that straight back She's up here for the first time, batting 167. 2 hits, one of the more recent players, but he was part of the 2024 championship team with the Conejo Oaks. Just recently joined the Oaks in July, as it's an 0-1 count, and Lorenzano on the mound again as that was popped high into shallow center field as Chip Mertz is going to get under it to make the play. So it's 1 down, brings up Jax Jimenez, who was 1 for 3 versus the Philippines baseball group, had an RBI, a run, as well as 2 stolen bases. So he's up here for the first time today, batting .212 on the season with 11 hits, 6 runs, has 7 RBIs. And for Devin Wilkes, that's now his 24th hit of the season, leading the team in that category, entering today, and continues to push forward. It's a 1-0 count to Jimenez, runner on first. Swing and a miss. Count now 1-1. Well, these teams have faced off 6 total times before today. The Oaks have won 4 of those 6. The 1-1 count to Jimenez. Takes the ball upstairs. Count now 2-1 as Jimenez, a sophomore from Oregon, one of 4 Duck players on this Conejo Oaks roster this summer from Rockland, California. The 2-1 pitch. Hits a high fly ball into left center field. Backstrom moves all the way to his right to make the play, and he can't. It drops through his glove. Devin Wilkes is going to advance to second base. And that's a defensive error there on Hunter Backstrom to get Jimenez to first.
And that's deja vu for Hunter Backstrom. We saw it back on June 21st in that 8th inning. That was the game when the Oaks walked off the Barons 2-1. Just one day before the Barons returned the favor, you saw him drop a ball in center field, and shortly the next inning you saw him removed from the game. It was certainly a game-costing error, and you know he wanted to get that taste out of his mouth, but it might still be there.
That one's ripped foul off to the left. Well, yeah, you are certainly right, Sammy. That was a huge play, as it would end up bringing Kenlinger in from a RBI single from Lucas Danuwitz. Now the 0-1 count to Jake Schwartz. Takes a strike inside, and Jake Schwartz was firing on all cylinders in the win versus the Philippines baseball group 8-1 on Sunday. He went 5 for 5 with a home run, had 2 RBIs and 3 runs total. Looking to continue that hot bat here today as it's 0-2 count. Looks at the ball in the dirt. Count now 1-2. A good job by Nigel Buckley to not let that get past him.
Yeah, Schwartz was perfect on Sunday, going 5 for 5, and he was just a triple away from hitting for the cycle.
1-2. Takes the ball outside. Count now even at 2. A sophomore at Point Loma University, originally from Santa Clarita, California. Appeared in 55 games this past season. Started 51 of those. Batted .315. Had 36 RBIs, 3 home runs, and 56 hits. He's also hit by pitches 12 times. The 2-2 count here to Schwartz. It's fouled off. The ball's being looked by Nigel Buckley. He finds it eventually, and still a 2-2 count as it's 1 out. Jax Jimenez at first base. Devin Wilkes at second. So an opportunity here for the Oaks to get their own scoring of themselves. It's a 2-2 count to Schwartz. Rips that down the middle as it's not going to be collected by the shortstop Nielsen. Wilkes is going to stop at third base. And a good piece of hitting by Jake Schwartz to load the bases now for the Conejo Oaks here in the bottom of the second inning.
A nice piece of hitting there by Jake Schwartz on that ball up the middle. Nielsen came up just a tad short. For that one, it looked like it skipped right by his glove. Wasn't able to keep it in, and Wilkes, wise decision to hold at third.
So now bases loaded with the bottom of the order here. Zach Moore up, who has 4 hits. 3 of those 4 hits, though, have gone for doubles. And a double right here could certainly even this ball game. As it's Jake Schwartz on first base, Jax Jimenez on second, Devin Wilkes on third. Moore takes a strike on the outside, count 0-1. So now some real traffic for Matthew Lorenzano. Now making his 4th start of the season. He's 1 for 1 in 2025, the 0-1. Moore hits a fly ball foul off to the right. Now down the count 0-2. So 1 out, bases full of Oaks. It's an 0-2 count to Zach Moore with Cade Falskin waiting up next.
Once again, we're seeing the error from Backstrom really drive into the nerves of the Barons of what could happen, what could become of that.
0-2 pitch to Moore here. Chops one high to shortstop. Nielsen's going to get under it, pitches it to Mertz. It's going to get the out. But it's a fielder's choice RBI. It's going to bring home Devin Wilkes. Count. It's now 2-1 MLB Academy Barons.
Yeah, that ball was not hit nearly hard enough to turn 2. Nielsen able to toss it to Mertz to second to get the force out, to get the 3rd runner on base, but Wilkes able to come in to score, and a huge bonus run for the Oaks, as, you know, that's still, if Backstrom makes that catch, we're out of the inning.
Back to the top of the order here for the Oaks as it's Cade Falskin. Singled his first time at the plate with a leadoff single. Now 2 outs, runners at the corner. Looks at a ball outside. Cade Falskin, a sophomore at Oregon State University. Made no appearances in 2025 for the Beavers. 1-0 count to Falskin. Fouls that straight back. Now 1 ball, 1 strike. So the Oaks opening up week 6 here of the California Collegiate League versus the MLB Academy Barons, as they're just 2 games behind first place Santa Barbara Foresters. Runners at the corner. Zach Moore and Jax Jimenez at third. 1-1. Falskin takes the ball outside and up.
Well, Falskin got things started in the first inning with a single to lead things off. Nothing would become of it.
It's a 2-1 count here to Falskin. Looks at a ball upstairs. So count is 3-1, 2 outs. Chance right here for Falskin to bring in the tying run, which would be Jax Jimenez on third base. The 3-1 pitch. Falskin hits a high foul ball off to the left. It's up now to a full count.
Oaks still have a chance to continue to take advantage of the error that they've been able to get their bonus run on. They have a chance to tie it up and take the lead.
The 3-2 pitch. Mora hits that high foul once again off to the left. So already some good action here in the 7th and final meeting of the season between the MLB Academy Barons and the Conejo Oaks, as the Barons hopped out to a 2-0 lead off the bat of Tommy Gooden, who hit a home run out to right field. But the Oaks slowly chipping away. A full count pitch. Moore hits a high fly ball into left field as Nielsen attempts to go back and make the play, and he can out in shallow left field. This is going to leave 2 runners stranded, but the Oaks able to respond with 1 run themselves. We head to the top of the 3rd inning. Barons leading 2-1. Begin the top of the third inning with the bottom of the order for the MLB Academy Barons is J.J. Nielsen, the shortstop, making his first appearance today at the plate as Charlie Decker beginning his third inning of action. He had a quick and successful second inning, struck out the side, or retired the side, had 2 strikeouts, both freezing the Barons batters. It's the first pitch. Low for a ball, count 1-0. So off the error by Hunter Backstrom and an RBI by Zach Moore, the Oaks have made it just a 1-run game as that ball is upstairs. A 2-0 count to Nielsen, so it's 2-1 now. Academy Barons.
Yeah, the way the Oaks have been able to respond to adversity, you know the Barons would want that run back.
2-0 pitch to Nielsen. Outside for another ball as it's now 3-0 to Nielsen, the undecided sophomore. Played his freshman season at Hawaii. 3-0 pitch. As Decker fits one in the lower half of the zone for a strike. Count now 3-1. Nielsen played both football and baseball last season, now just baseball. It's another strike he takes, this time inside. It's up to a full count, so Decker now working back in the count after pitching 3 straight balls. The payoff from Decker. Outside for ball 4, so Nielsen stays patient and eventually wins the battle as he makes a sprint to first base. It's a leadoff walk.
It is funny you say sprint because that is what a walk is in the Savannah Bananas or baseball organization. It's a baseball organization it's baseball but with a lot more fun editorials and bonuses. The
Harlem Globetrotters.
Yeah.
As that one's fouled off by Chip Mertz, going for the bunt.
Yeah, we were actually watching a documentary about it the other night, and the entertainment and the things that they do on the field during games, it is unbelievable.
0-1 pitch to Mertz as Decker checks at first, and Nielsen is able to slide back safely. Yeah, it's the kind of the Harlem Globetrotters with all the antics that go on during and before games. It's an 0-1 pitch to Mertz. It's a high fly ball. That's going to be kept in field as Holly calls everyone off and gets the out. 1 down for the Oaks.
Barons early on with a 2-1 lead. Certainly a good position to be in. Of course, lead is nowhere near safe against the Conejo Oaks, who we've seen them come back. We've seen the Barons come back the last time these two teams played each other, so still a lot of baseball to play.
First pitch to Nathaniel Williams. Takes a ball outside. So 1 out, 1 on for the Academy Barons. And a 1-0 count to Nathaniel Williams, who struck out his first time, was the first strikeout victim of the day by Charlie Decker. The 1-0 pitch. Another ball outside. Now 2 balls, 0 strikes. Well, we already talked about it, but Williams certainly a dominant bat who put up a great at-bat last time. Versus Decker. 2-0. Williams chomps that down the middle, and Moore is not going to get over and make the play as it's a single for Williams. So he gets on the bags for the first time today. It's now 2 on for the Barons as that brings up Antonio Lujan, the left fielder.
Barons in business for Lujan here. They've already got a 1-run lead, and certainly it might be the easiest chance they have for a while to expand their lead and get some insurance. And if you can get that early on and just maintain your composure and momentum throughout the game, could be a well-played baseball game.
First pitch here to Lujan. He chops at the third base. Holly charges towards it. He's going to throw over to Mora. That play is going to be turned for 2, and they can get it. It's a 5-4-3 double play to get out of the inning. As Holly starts the rally and keeps 2 base runners stranded, we head to the bottom of the 3rd. The Oaks just trailing 2-1. Back here at George Sparky Anderson Field, as it was jubilant scenes in the Conejo Oaks dugout as they were able to run a 5-4-3 double play. As it was started by Tyler Holly, as it's Lucas Daniewicz now on the mound, or on the plate. For his 2nd time today, he popped out to center field. His 1st time. Takes another strike count. Now he's already down in the count, 0-2.
Daniewicz, one of 2 players for Cal Lutheran in this lineup. He's playing right in his backyard.
The 0-2 pitch. Outside for a ball as Daniewicz stays patient there. And it's Matthew Lorenzano back for his 3rd inning of action. Has allowed 4 hits as that's popped up into infield, and Lorenzano calls everyone off and is able to make the play pretty much off the bump of his mound and gets the 1st out.
Well, that's a practical defensive play for the pitcher. You know, typically if the pitcher has to go out of his way to make a play, he should rely on his defense, but it was very convenient for Lorenzano to move about 3 steps to his left to make the catch.
So now it's Jacob Galloway at the plate. Singled his 1st time. The 1st pitch here. Galloway looks at a ball upstairs. Galloway recently just committed to Oregon State. Spent past season at Texas A&M. The 1-0 pitch. Galloway takes a strike as Lorenzano with a 74-mile-per-hour slider. Galloway back in 2024 earned all Pac-12 honors with USC. The 1-1 pitch. Rips that into left center field as that's going to be a diving grab right there in the outfield by Antonio Lujan.
It's a great play by Lujan out there in left field. He covered a lot of ground. That ball struck pretty well by Galloway. Wasn't hit all that hard, so it was kind of a tougher play for Lujan to make a fast, long run, but he's able to come in and slide in and make the catch no problem with the momentum that he built.
Now brings up Tyler Holly, who hit into a double play. Last time at the plate is ball outside, and he started the double play against the Barons in the 3rd inning. It was a 5-4-3 double play to get out of that one. The 1-0 pitch to Holly. Swing and a miss. Count now 1 ball, 1 strike. So the Barons leading 2-1, looking for their 3rd win of the season versus the Oaks. 1-1. Oh, he hits a fly ball out into right field foul territory. Carrington's going to move over all the way to his left to make the play, and he can right at the wall to get the 3rd out of the inning. Lorenzano retires the side as we head to the 4th. Barons leading 2-1. Back here at George Sparky Anderson Field, it is the Academy Barons leading 2-1. Another shout out to our sponsor, Pizza Man Dan's, located in the Ventura County area, has 6 different locations. Grab your fresh hot pie now. This is Tommy Gooden at the plate. Looks at the ball upstairs. Well, he is the sole difference maker of this game thus far with a 2-run home run back in the first inning. Went 387 over the right field fence. The 0-1. Swing and a miss. As Decker gets him to chase. And you know Decker wants his revenge right here.
Well, that one must have felt good right there. It gets him to chase a nasty breaking ball.
The 1-1 pitch to Gooden. He hits that foul. Straight back. As Tommy Gooden played his high school ball at Camarillo High School, ranked the #1 first baseman by a perfect game in 2024. The 1-2. Swing and a miss. Down goes Gooden as Decker gets his revenge in his 5th strikeout of the day.
Yeah, you know Gooden didn't like the pitches that he swung at and saw there. But, you know, sometimes after you give up a home run, you think, okay, where did I go wrong with my pitch sequence or my location? Did I make a mistake? Did I tip my pitches? And, you know, right there, Decker was on top of his command to get Gooden.
It's now Nigel Buckley who fouls that off his left foot, and he's going to have to just walk that one off as that's painful. Buckley grounded out to third base last time. The sophomore at Cal State, Domingos Hill. He was named Flow College and CCAA Player of the Week for March 31st to April 6th, where he hit .625, who was 10 for 16 with 2 doubles, 2 home runs, 8 RBIs, and 5 runs in 4 games. He's the 12th ranked catcher in California in 2023. 0-1. Swing and a miss. Played at Sarah Gardena High School. Down in the count now, 0-2, as Decker looks to make it back-to-back strikeouts. Here's the payoff. Outside for a ball. Count now 1-2.
Well, couple of this year in 2025, couple of graduate and former SCIAC baseball alumni played for Dominguez Hills. Jared Anderson of Redlands and Tej Barrett of Whittier.
Another ball outside. Count now even at 2. As Buckley looks to fight back in this count. He'll do up next is Hunter Backstrom for the Barons. The 2-2. Swing and a miss. Back-to-back strikeouts for Decker to begin this 4th inning.
Well, certainly a great start to this 4th inning from Charlie Decker, who's now got 6 strikeouts on the day. And, you know, he's rebounded quite nicely from his first inning. And he has been a very strong arm on the mound for the Oaks.
It's now the left-hander Hunter Backstrom at the plate. Struck out his first time. Takes a strike on the corner. Well, the season high is 7 strikeouts for Charlie Decker back on June 17th in the 8-0 loss versus the Saints. Went 4 innings. It's another swing and a miss from Backstrom. It's now down to the count 0-2. Here comes the payoff. That's grounded up the middle as Moore's going to able to get under it. Fires at the first, and it's in time. As it gets it to Devin Wilkesing, that's the 3rd out. Charlie Decker retires the side. We head to the bottom of the 4th. The Barons just holding on to a 2-1 lead. We welcome you back to George Sparky Anderson Field as we begin the bottom of the 4th inning alongside Sammy Fawn. I'm Judo Canius as we kick off Week 6 of the California Collegiate League. It's the Conejo Oaks versus the MLB Academy Barons. The Barons leading 2-1 as it's Devin Wilkes to the plate first. Had a single back in the 2nd inning. The first pitch. It's chopped foul off to the right. He is the sole run for the Oaks today. He was driven in on a fielder's choice by Zach Moore in the 2nd inning. So Charlie Decker has been able to do good work as it's a swing and a miss. Count now 0-2. And really since that home run, Charlie Decker has not really allowed anything. The 0-2 pitch to Wilkes. He chops that to second base. Chip Mertz catches it on the hop, throws it to first. His is time as he gets the out. 1 down for the Barons.
Yeah, Lorenzano's rebounded pretty nicely himself since that 2nd inning. Of course, he was hurt a little bit on the defensive side, something that was not within his control. The error in center field, but he's been able to keep his head in there and match right up there against Decker.
It's now Landon West, who popped out to second base last time. He looks at a ball outside. Well, Landon West actually this summer is doing a homestay with Charlie Decker. He's living all summer long. The 1-0 pitch to West. It's an oops swing that's going to land right into Lorenzano's glove. He throws it over to first, and it's in time to get the 2nd out.
A little bit of luck right there for Lorenzano. Maybe not the pitch he wanted to throw, but ends up working out as West sticks his bat out a little too far.
Yo, just finishing that thought, Landon West, last year when he was on the Oaks, was staying in the Cal Lu dorms. So this year has a home to stay at as it's now Jax Jimenez who looks at a strike outside. In fact, actually was able to talk to him pregame, and I was wondering just favorite meals that he's had thus far. And he said Charlie Decker's mom overall is a really good cook, but the pork tenderloin tacos she cooked last night were her favorite. It's a swing and a miss for Jimenez. Now 0-2.
Pork tenderloin tacos sounds delish.
Yeah, just waiting for my invite. But the 0-2 count to Jimenez. It's a high fly ball foul off to the left, and it's going to go out of the field of play as it actually just hits into the stands here. So it was able to find the gap between the ceiling of the left side fans and the netting.
Little trick shot there. Yeah, just landed right on the ground, right on the concrete. Bounced straight up.
So count remains 0-2 for Jimenez. Reached on an error last time. That ball is going to find behind him. It's a wild pitch from Lorenzano. Count now 1-2. Well, it was truly that error that we talked about with Hunter Backstrom out in center field that led to the run, and that was Jax Jimenez who hit that ball out into center field. The 1-2 now. Swing and a miss. Down goes Jimenez, and it's another retired side by Matthew Lorenzano as we head to the top of the 5th inning. The Barons still holding on to a 2-1 lead. Back here in the 5th inning as this game is Moving fast, but it is a 2-1 lead for the MLB Academy Barons. As it's Jason Del Villar up first. Grounded out to third base last time as it's Charlie Decker back on the mound for his 5th inning of action. The first pitch to Del Villar as he looks at a ball outside.
Jason Del Villar, a rising junior transfer at Sonoma State University. He's transferring from San Bernardino Valley College. He played for the last 2 seasons.
The 1-0. It's low for a ball. So the 6 of 7 meetings for the Oaks and the Barons were all in the month of July, and this is the month of June, I should say, and this is the final meeting, the 7th final meeting between these two teams. The 2-0 pitch. Del Villar crushes one, foul off to the left, but that had serious power.
Yeah, that was, that must have felt good for Villar to be able to hit that the way he did.
So a 2-1 count to Del Villar as Decker looking to continue where he left off in the 4th inning. 2-1. Swing and a miss for Del Villar as he chases one in the dirt. Count now 2-2. Or it's actually fouled off. So Barons just holding on to a 2-1 lead. The 2-2 pitch. Said he didn't go around and check his swing. So it's now up to a full count for Jason Del Villar. Looking for his first hit of the game. Came into this game second on the team with 20 hits. Also has 1 home run, batting .308 on the season. The 3-2. Del Villar rips that straight towards Decker as he falls down, but his throw is going to get there in time. As an impressive play from Decker, who took pretty much a line drive straight to the mound. And now Coach David Solis is going to come on check on him, and that's certainly a guy you got to be careful with.
Yeah, that was a great play by Decker. And Decker, for one, he was able to protect himself with his glove, protect his face there. And for him to not give up on that ball and throw a strike to first base to get Del Villar, I mean, it was an excellent recovery. And, yeah, certainly, very good for Solis to check on him here.
It's also the trainer, Yoshi Shiratori, having conversations with the infield as well. And they'll have him go back on the mound for a few test throws to see how he's feeling, and that certainly scared. But while he gets back to see if he's ready to play, we'll take a quick break. The Barons leading 2-1. And well, it only took 1 pitch for Charlie Decker to feel good, and we're back in action. So he'll stay out there showing that he is a true champion on that mound. And, I mean, I'm just more impressed by the play itself. I mean, the quick reaction is Del Villar hit a pretty much chopper straight out to the mound. Decker fell down, was able to make the throw at first all in split seconds as Jordan Carrington hits a high fly ball to the right. Jax Jimenez moving all the way to his left to make the play, and he does out on the warning track to get the second out as Jimenez showing off his range at center field today.
Yeah, and this is the second game in a row where we've seen Jax Jimenez starting in center field with Tommy Kenlinger getting the day off, and he has got excellent range. We've seen him in all 3 outfield positions. He's got great ground coverage, and he tracks down out number 2.
So brings up Jarrett Nelson for the second time today. He walked back in the 3rd inning, but was left stranded. Takes the ball low and inside, just pretty much right at his feet in the batter's box. J.J. Nelson appeared in 7 games for Hawaii baseball as a freshman, went 1 for 2 as a pinch hitter. The 1-0. Nielsen checks his swing, and they're going to call it a strike. Count now 1-1. Well, Nielsen was a dual sport athlete in high school, ranked as a 3-star quarterback in the class of 2024. Threw 29 passing touchdowns. The 1-1. Nielsen looks at a ball low.
Yeah, baseball and football go hand in hand, certainly when it comes to speed. And, of course, strength and, your range, too, across the field.
The 2-1 pitch is upstairs for a ball. Yeah, one guy I think of is Kyler Murray, the quarterback for the Arizona Cardinals, was drafted by the Oakland Athletics, who were the Oakland Athletics, I should say. Soon to be the Las Vegas Athletics. The 3-1 pitch to Nielsen. Takes the ball upstairs, and now it's his second walk of the day, as it's a 2-out walk. As the Barons continue to roll here in the 5th inning. So back to the top of the order with Chip Mertz, who is 1 for 2 on the day. Had a leadoff double back in the 1st inning. Batting .245 on the season. Off goes Nielsen to second base. The throw is not going to be in time as Moore is not able to hold on to the ball. It's a good attempt by Galloway, but a stolen base nonetheless. Now the 5th stolen base of the season for J.J. Nielsen.
Yeah, great jump by Nielsen. Yeah, that was a bang-bang play. Of course, even more bang-bang it would have been if Mora was able to hold on to that baseball.
1-0 pitch to Mertz. Punches a ground ball to second base. Falskin gets under it. His throw is in time to Devin Wilkes. If that gets the 3rd out, Decker leaves one stranded. We head to the bottom of the 5th inning. The Barons just leading 2-1. Welcome you back to George Sparky Anderson Field alongside Sammy Fawn. I'm Judo Kanyas here on a beautiful Tuesday afternoon in Thousand Oaks, California at Ullman Stadium at California Lutheran University as Jake Schwartz takes the ball low and inside. Count 1-0.
We saw Jake Schwartz get a hot shot up the middle that skipped right past a couple of defenders.
And it's another hot shot into right field as it's a leadoff single. Is he going to hold at 1? So 2 pitches, and Jake Schwartz is already on the bags. It's now his 2nd hit of the day. He's now 7 for 7 in his last 7 at-bats, including Sunday.
It all started with a no-doubt home run down the right field line.
It's now Zach Moore, who shows bunt, pulls back, and takes the strike. As Matthew Lorenzano begins now his 5th inning of action. He's retired the side in back-to-back innings. 1 strikeout today, the 0-1 pitch to Mora. Looks at a ball outside. Well, we've talked about it, the Barons and the Oaks meeting for the last time, but it's not the last time that the Oaks or some Oaks will travel down south to Compton, California, as in a week from tomorrow is the California Collegiate League Showcase game, along with their home run derby. The 1-1 pitch to Mora. Takes the ball inside. So there's the home run derby, which is at 4:30 p.m. at the MLB Youth Academy down in Compton, California at Compton Community College. And that will be decided by the California Collegiate League front office. The 2-1 pitch to Mora as he fouls that off. Count now even at 2. And what I understand is they should have who is in the home run derby by tomorrow. I'll tell you one guy, Sammy, that I'm already thinking of is Nathaniel Williams and Tommy Gooden. And then potentially a guy like Devin Wilkes for the Conejo Oaks. Guys that have been crushing balls into beyond the fences as Zach Moore looks at a ball upstairs. Count now runs full.
Yeah, I would definitely say Wilkes. And you think about the Oaks, Wilkes is the only guy who's hit 2 home runs, but other guys that hit long home runs, Jax Jimenez, Jake Schwartz, his went a long way.
Yeah.
Should be an exciting day for sure.
The 3-2 pitch as off goes Schwartz. That's grounded past third baseman Nathaniel Williams, and it's going to be back-to-back singles as the Oaks open up the 5th inning. Looking to make a mark as they trail 2-1 currently to the Academy Barons. It's now back to the top of the order, and Cade Falskin. Well, the showcase game will take place at 7 p.m., and there's obviously the South Division, North Division. So the South Division will be coached by Aaron Millen, the Orioles Seco Saints manager, and Conejo Oaks' very own David Solis, while the North team will be head coached by Sonoma Stompers head coach Zach Pace and Walnut Creek Crawdads Brant Cummings. They will both be coaching the 2025 showcase and 2026 showcase years. It's the first pitch here to Falskin. Shows Bunn is going to get hit in the back on the first pitch by Lorenzano, and that one's got to hurt, but takes off his gear and walks over to first base as it's now bases loaded with 0 outs, and brings up Lucas Danuitz. Someone no stranger of bringing in runners himself with 9 RBIs on the season. Looking for his first hit today. He's 0 for 2.
Yeah, Lorenzano facing a lot of traffic here and going to get a mound visit from the pitching coach, A.J. Monarez, for the MLB Academy Barons. And, yeah, bases loaded, nobody out. Oaks only down by 1 run, but, yeah, next week should be very exciting. Yeah, you got the CCL showcase at MLB Youth Academy in Compton. One day after the MLB All-Star game in Atlanta.
So all-star festivities across baseball, whatever league it may be, as it's Lucas Danuitz now up to the plate, and a grand opportunity right here for the Conejo Oaks. As bases loaded, 0 outs. Danuitz with 20 hits on the season. Swing and a miss. Chases outside. Count now 0-1. Yeah, there's definitely going to be good representation by the Oaks, who have had quite a few players have themselves great summers. The 0-1 to Danuitz. It's a high fly ball foul off to the right. Yeah, sorry, and Lucas Danuitz, a guy that deserves a nod to be part of the South Division All-Star team. The 0-1 pitch. Looks at the ball in the dirt. Gets away from Buckley, but he's able to retain it and not allow runners to advance.
Yeah, that's possibly the last way you want to allow a run in an unnecessary fashion with a wild pitch.
So a 1-1 count here to Lucas Danuitz. Bases full of Oaks. Grounds one up the middle, and that play is going to be made right there by Chip Mertz. His flip is not going to get to second base in time. So it's an RBI single by Lucas Danuitz, and that brings in the tying run. Jake Schwartz now 2-2.
Well, some defensive shakiness right there. It was a great diving stop by Nielsen, but he might have been thinking about turning 2 before he got 1. And I think, he rushed that throw a little bit because all you can really get there is 1 on that diving play.
So now it's 10 RBIs on the season for Lucas Danuitz, but it's back to bases loaded, 0 outs. Jacob Galloway at the plate. Someone very lethal with runners in scoring position, a team leading 18 RBIs. The first pitch to Galloway. Takes the ball outside.
Yeah, he's very reliable for an RBI, runner at third with less than 2 outs, even with 2 outs too, but, with less than 2 outs to pitchers, it's often like, good luck.
The 1-0 pitch to Galloway. Looks at a strike.
Another error committed by the Barons defense there on that throw to second.
1-1 count. Lorenzo deals. And it's going to hit Galloway in the leg, and so he'll advance to first base, and that'll bring home now the leading run, which is Zach Moore.
Second hit batter this inning and of the game for Lorenzano. And there's still nobody out in this inning.
So that now is back-to-back games that Zach Moore, or I apologize, Jacob Galloway has been hit by a pitch. He was hit twice on Sunday, and now another time today. And bases still remain loaded, as it's now Tyler Hawley at the plate. Lorenzano deals. Hawley takes a ball upstairs. So it's Cade Falskin on third base, Lucas Daniewicz on second, and Jacob Galloway at first. Tyler Hawley, certainly another guy that is no stranger to bringing in runs himself, is second on the team with 14 RBIs. As it's a 1-0 count. Hawley looks at a ball low. Count now 2-0. Hawley, a redshirt sophomore at Cal State Fullerton, did not play in 2025, appeared in 20 games in 2024 for Pepperdine. 2-0 pitch. Takes a strike inside.
That was some good movement and location there by Lorenzano. Got the off speed, the slider there that just caught right on the corner. Tough to hit.
So a 2-1 count here to Hawley. Bases full of Oaks. Lorenzano deals. Hawley remaining patient, takes a ball outside. It's now up to a 3-1 count. So the Oaks have gained their first lead of the game off a hit by pitch and an error. 3-1. Hawley hits that straight back foul. It's now up to a full count. Well, it's not like Hawley's having to hit with 2 outs. He has 0 outs to work with. So even if he could just hit it far out into the outfield, even if it's not a home run, good chance he'll bring home Falskin. The payoff from Lorenzano. In there for strike 3 as he catches Hawley sleeping, and it's the first out of the inning. It's the second strikeout for Lorenzano.
Certainly a much-needed one for him there as Ken Landro makes his way out to the mound. We'll see if that's it for Lorenzano.
Yeah, it's usually could be a sign or just amping up confidence, but it is a sign that Lorenzano's day is over, as it's having some extra words. And Lorenzano, to be fair, I mean, before entering this inning, had a pretty effective day, just allowing 4 hits and 1 run, but since the 5th inning has allowed 2 runs, has hit 2 batters. And so now his day is over, and as the Barons go to the bullpen for the first time today, we will take a quick break. Oaks leading 3-2. return back to action as it's the first pitching change of the day for the MLB Academy Barons. Matthew Lorenzano's day is over. He goes 5 1/3 inning as it leads way to Bradley Grindlinger, making his first appearance this summer for the MLB Academy Barons. He's working already in traffic. Bases loaded. Devin Wilkes up. He swings and a miss, and it's going to get away from Buckley at home plate, and it's going to bring home another run for the Oaks. As Cade Falskin taps on home plate, makes it 4-2 Oaks. So first pitch from Grindlinger leads to the 4th run of the day.
Yeah, costly one right there. That one just skipped away from Nigel Buckley and gives the Oaks now a 2-run lead, and that pulls the infield in with first base open.
So Lucas Daniewicz at third, Jacob Galloway at second. It's an 0-1 count to Devin Wilkes. Looks at a ball outside.
Bradley Grindlinger, a rising junior at Charleston Southern University. He redshirted his freshman year. He missed the season due to an injury.
The 1-1. As Wilkes fouls that off his foot. Count now 1-2. Well, it's been a 3-run 5th inning here as the Oaks take their first lead of the game. And, well, it's been both their bats but also some defensive miscues that have allowed the Oaks to take a 4-2 lead. The 1-2 pitch to Wilkes. Swing and a miss as it's the first strikeout for Grindlinger. Grindlinger gets the second out.
Well, 2 much-needed strikeouts for the Barons. Lorenzano able to record one before he exits. So, you know, exiting on the high enough note of a strikeout.
As it's Landon West, who is 0 for 2 today. Looks at a ball outside and low.
We'll say every runner that is on base right now still belongs to Lorenzano, so his line is not officially done yet.
So Landon West batting 167. 2 hits on the season. The 1-0 pitch. And the ball outside. Landon West now in his 2nd year with the Caneo Oaks. 2-0. Takes a strike on the outside. Count now 2-1. A junior from Rice University. Appeared in 158 at-bats for Rice in 2025. 2-1. Swing and a miss. Count now even at 2. So Grindlinger looking to stop the bleeding here in the bottom of the 5th inning as the Oaks have now taken control with a 4-2 lead. 2-2. It's fouled off to the right. And for the Oaks, they're looking to extend to a 3-game winning streak. They have a important week ahead of them where they face off against the San Francisco Seagulls on Thursday, and then they're on the road versus the #1 seed Santa Barbara Foresters for a Friday night special, and then back-to-back games versus the Arroyo Seco Saints. 2-2. That's high, and it gets a past Buckley, and it brings home another run. That's Lucas Daniewicz this time as Jacob Galloway tests the waters, but he's going to retreat to third base.
2 costly runs have scored on wild pitches. Certainly some avoidable damage that Barons have created in this inning, and they're cutting out their own work on offense for them going forward. 4 runs have scored in this inning now for the Oaks.
So a full count pitch here to West as looks at a ball low for ball 4, and he'll take a walk. So he reaches the bases for the first time today and continues to let this 5th inning roll on as the Oaks have taken a 3-run control. And Jacob Galloway, the last runner that is accounted towards Matthew Lorenzano. So it's Jax Jimenez, who's 0 for 1 today, has reached bases once. First pitch to Jimenez. Runners at the corner. inside for a ball. Count 1-0. And well, some kind of new faces both on the mound and behind the dish, as Buckley's just appeared in 3 games and Grindlinger making his first appearance. The 1-0. Swing and a miss from Jimenez. Count now 1-1. Jake Schwartz due up next for the Oaks. 2 outs, runners at the corners. It's a 1-1 pitch to Jimenez. Swing and a miss. It's back-to-back strikes. This counts now up to 1 ball and 2 strikes. Jacob Galloway at third base, Landon West at first. Kenlinger deals. Jimenez pokes one into shallow center field, as that's going to be a grab out by the shortstop. J.J. Nielsen gets the third out, but not before a 4-run 5th inning from the Conejo Oaks gives them their first lead. We head to the top of the 6th inning, and the Oaks are on top, 5-2. We begin the top of the 6th inning as the Oaks now with their first lead, 5-2. It's Nathaniel Williams up first for the Barons. He is 1 for 2, and on the mound is Spencer Kratt for the Oaks. It's day over as Nathaniel Williams rips one in first pitch out into left field. Jake Schwartz moves over to his left and records the out. 1 pitch out to get things started in the 6th inning. So Spencer Kratt now making his 6th appearance of the season for the Conejo Oaks. He has 2 wins, 0 losses, a 3.60 ERA. He's pitched in 10 total innings, 7 strikeouts, has allowed 14 hits. Last saw him on July 2nd in the 6-5 win versus the Bombers. So he gets a strike on the outside corner. So it's now Antonio Lujan, who was 0 for 2 today. Hit into a double play last time in the 3rd inning, 0-1. Low inside for a ball, count now even at 1.
Yeah, that was a beautiful double play that we saw there, too. Started by Tyler Hawley over at third base, made a great throw to second, and Falskin over to first, routine.
Lujan looks at a strike outside, count now 1-2. In that win, it was also the 2nd win that was given to Kratt. Went 2 innings, 1-2. Lujan hits a fly ball out into left field. Jake Schwartz going to move all the way over to his right and records there out right along the left field line to get the 2nd out. as Spencer Kratt has made quick work of the first two batters he's faced, but now brings up Tommy Gooden, who has been the sole sort of offense today for the Barons. He had the 2-run home run back in the first inning, went 387 feet past the right field fence, as he will look to will his team back here. Looks at a ball low.
Yeah, Spencer Kratt, he's 2-0 on the season. He picked up the win on July 2nd against the San Diego Bombers last Wednesday.
1-0. Swing and a miss from Gooden.
That was the game where the Oaks walked them off in the 9th inning, a 6-5 victory. And we saw in the bottom of the 9th, back-to-back walks and back-to-back hit by pitches, all consecutively to end the game.
Gooden chops that foul off to the right. Count now 1-2. Well, Charlie Decker got his revenge back in the 4th inning by striking out Tommy Gooden. So Decker ends his day just allowing 3 hits and 2 runs. The 1-2 pitch to Gooden. Gets past Galloway, and it's going to be low for a ball. Now 2 balls, 2 strikes. So Gooden, another guy that certainly could be at the California Collegiate League Showcase for the South Division. Has 4 home runs on the season, another home run derby potential candidate. 2-2. Looks at a ball low. Well, his 4 home runs, or now his 4th home run that he got today, is tied for first on the team with the MLB Academy Barons' Nathaniel Williams, and is also tied for first in the league. 3-2. Williams rips that to second base. Falskin has trouble controlling, but his throw's still in time to Devin Wilkes at first, and that gets the 3rd out as Spencer Kratt retires the side in his first inning of action. We head to the bottom of the 6th, the Oaks leading 5-2. Back here for the bottom of the 6th inning. The Oaks up 5-2 here at George Sparky Anderson Field as we kick off Week 6 of the California Collegiate League alongside Sammy Fawn. I'm Judo Conius. We hope all of you are having a relaxing Tuesday afternoon, wherever you may be listening from. So the Oaks up 5-2. It's Jake Schwartz to get things started. And Bradley Greindlinger making now his first real inning of action as Schwartz looks at a strike. Count 0-1. Schwartz is 2 for 2 today with 2 singles. It's also the first run to score as part of that 4-run 5th inning. Greindlinger steps off.
Yeah, Schwartz, he's been swinging a hot bat for the Oaks as he's, as you mentioned, 7 of his last 7.
It's that straight back. Count now 0-2. Schwartz hits a fly ball foul off to the left. Currently leads the team in batting average at batting .500 on the season. He hasn't been an everyday player compared to some other guys on this roster, but when his name is called, he certainly makes the most of it.
Yeah, he's gotten a lot of action at first base lately, and also he's an outfielder as well.
The 0-2 pitch to Schwartz. Checks his swing and fouls it into the glove of Buckley as Greindlinger gets his second strikeout to begin the 6th inning.
It's a good strikeout there for Greindlinger, and, you know, Schwartz just got that right off the bat and happened to go right into Buckley's glove.
So now it is Zach Mora up to the plate, the bottom of the Oaks order here. As he grounds one to shortstop. Nielsen charges towards it. He fires over to first, and the throw's going to get past Carrington. Moore's going to turn it for 2. And he'll stop at second base, but a good play by Nielsen to charge it, but his throw just a little too wide for Jordan Carrington to make the play. So it's a single that turns into 2 for Zach Mora.
Yeah, the grip right at the end from Nielsen just got away from him a little bit as he threw that outside of the first base bag. Too much for Carrington to dive for. And so Mora, he's now at second, and the Oaks a chance to get another insurance run.
So the second defensive error of the day for the Barons brings up Cade Falskin. As he looks at a strike on the corner. He is 1 for 2 today, and last time he was at the plate, he was hit by a pitch and advanced on an error and then scored home on a pass ball. So took advantage of all the defensive miscues from the Barons. The 0-1 pitch to Falskin. In the dirt for a ball. Count now 1-1. Falskin started this game off for the Oaks with a single. It's a 1-1 count to Falskin. Runner on second base is Zach Mora. Falskin looks at a strike inside. Count now 1-2, so 1 out, 1 on, and a 1-2 count to Falskin. The payoff from Greindlinger. Swing and a miss. Down goes Falskin. It's the third strikeout for Greindlinger. As it leads way to Lucas Danuwitz.
Well, since he's come onto the mound, he's certainly taken care of business and has been able to, you know, quickly rebound following Matthew Lorenzano's exit. And, you know, Greindlinger did throw a couple wild pitches, but you know, those runs were not inherited by Greindlinger, so no runs to his name yet. But yeah, certainly he's been helping the Barons stay in this game.
So 2 outs, 1 on, and it's Lucas Danuwitz, first pitch. Looks at a ball upstairs. Danuwitz had a single back in the 5th inning that put him on base. Brought home a run as well as he fouls that off to the left, and it hits off the flooring of the dugout of the Conejo Oaks and actually rolls out into the left field. So they'll take a quick pause as Xander Allen Fox collects and brings it back to the dugout. So 1-1 count to Lucas Danuwitz. 2 outs, 1 on. The pitch. It's the outside corner for a strike. So the 1-2 to Danuwitz. The payoff from Greindlinger. It's outside for a ball as Buckley has to quickly get under it, as Moore had thoughts about stealing, but pulls back and retreats to second base. So it's Jacob Galloway due up next. The Oaks looking to extend a 2-game win streak to a 3-game to start week 6. The 2-2. That's upstairs for ball 3. It's now a full count to Lucas Daniewicz, who's done a good job fighting back into this count.
Yeah, he's making Grindlinger work for his strikes and his outs until he can get a pitch to hit or draw ball 4.
The payoff from Grindlinger. Daniewicz hits a grounder to short. Nielsen gets under it. This time the throw is accurate enough to Jordan Carrington to get the 3rd out. As we head to the top of the 7th inning, the Oaks still holding a 5-2 lead. And we're 2/3 through this game here on a Tuesday afternoon at George Sparky Anderson Field as the Conejo Oaks leading 5-2. We get the 7th inning started as it's Nigel Buckley, the catcher, who is 0 for 2 today, looking for his 4th hit of the season and first today as Spencer Kratt begins his 2nd inning of work. It's in the dirt for a ball as Buckley takes outside. Count 1-0. The 1-0 pitch. Inside as Buckley has to dodge a fastball from Kratt. The 2-0 pitch. Low and outside for ball 3 as Buckley just waiting for the right pitch.
Yeah, he's hitless so far on the day. We haven't seen him reach base this season yet.
3-0. And it's low for ball 4, so a 4-pitch walk as Buckley with a leadoff walk to get things started in the 7th inning as it leads way to Hunter Backstrom, and the Barons just trying to find some offense that they haven't been able to find since the 1st inning. Spencer Kratt retired the side in the 6th. And Charlie Decker made pretty good work after allowing the home run in the 1st inning. So 1 on, 0 outs. Hunter Backstrom takes the ball outside. Backstrom is also 0 for 2 today. Grounded out to short and struck out looking. The 1-0 pitch to Backstrom. It's a fly ball foul off to the left. Hunter Backstrom, a sophomore at UC Riverside. Actually, his older brother, Mackay, also played for the MLB Academy Barons. Eventually was drafted by the Braves organization in 2019. 1-1. Swing and a miss for Backstrom. Spent his freshman season at West Los Angeles College. The 1-2 pitch to Backstrom. Hits that foul off to the left. Count remains 1-2. So 0 outs. Runner at first base. It's a 1-2 pitch to Backstrom. As Galloway goes for the pickoff at first base, but Buckley is able to slide back safely.
Yeah, that was very close, but yeah, the throw to first to the foul side to the first base bag, and you see Wilkes turn around counterclockwise as with, you know, for a left-handed first baseman, you have to turn your glove all the way around.
2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Down goes Backstrom. It's the first strikeout of the day for Spencer Kratt. So he now gets his 8th of the season. Brings up Jason Del Villar.
That's certainly well earned for Kratt there as he sent the Barons down 1-2-3 in the 6th inning and is able to get a key out there.
So 1 out, 1 on for the Barons as it's the right-hander Jason Del Villar looks at a ball in the dirt. Well, you imagine Buckley's now going to be a little more cautious of how far he leads off first base, knowing that Galloway's always has his eye on him.
And he always has his cannon.
2 good things to have in a pitcher. The 1-0 to Del Villar. They're going to call it a strike.
Yeah, it looked like the bat just went a little too far there.
So he went around for strike 1. It's now 1 ball, 1 strike. The 1-1 pitch. Del Villar looks at a ball outside. Count now 2-1. It's the final meeting between these two teams. It's the 7th meeting here between the Barons and the Oaks. 2-1 pitch. Inside as Del Villar has to duck away not to get hit by that one, and that was a hair away from being a hit. So now a 3-1 count to Del Villar.
We're seeing Kratt fall behind in the count more this inning.
The 3-1 pitch. That one's grounded past Holly into left field for a base hit. As it's now 2 on for the Barons as they look to come up with some sort of runs here in the top of the 7th inning.
Certainly be the time to right here, down by 3 runs. They've had their work cut out for them since that 5th inning when 4 runs scored. A lot of those were unearned.
So it's Jordan Carrington, the sophomore at Los Angeles Valley College. It's 1 out, 2 on for the Barons. It's Buckley at second base and Del Villar at first. Carrington 0 for 2 today. Popped out to center field last time. The first pitch from Kratt is low for a ball. So Kratt looking to take on where Charlie Decker left off and continue to pitch more scoreless baseball. 1-0. Swing and a miss from Carrington as he fouls that into the glove of Galloway. Well, it's been 5 innings. The Barons have been held scoreless. They got that 2-run home run from Tommy Gooden in the first inning, and since, the combination of Decker and Kratt has been able to keep the Barons silent. The 1-1. Outside for a ball. It's now 2 balls, 1 strike as Carrington with 3 hits on the season, 1 RBI. Played in 25 games for Los Angeles Valley College last year. Had 11 hits and 9 RBIs. 2-1. Swing and a miss from Carrington. Galloway throws to second. It's not going to be in time.
Yeah, great throw down to second by Galloway there, but In Buckley's case, he had plenty of time to react to that one, and he saw the throw coming, so he wasn't as caught off guard there.
So count even at 2. 1 out, 2 on for the Barons. The 2-2 pitch. Low for a ball. It's now up to a full count as Carrington waiting for his pitch. Was ranked as the 23rd first baseman in 2022 by the Perfect Game. The payoff from Kratt. That's driven down into right center or right field as Buckley is held at third base. So it's back-to-back singles for the Barons as it's now bases loaded, brings up J.J. Nielsen, the bottom of the order, with a real opportunity for the Barons and probably their best opportunity since the first inning.
Yeah, definitely the biggest opportunity that they've presented for themselves right here. J.J. Nielsen, the bottom of the order, can deliver here.
He's walked both times he's been at the plate. 1 out, bases loaded. Swing and a miss for Nielsen. So Kratt now dealing with some heavy traffic. It was a walk by Nigel Buckley and then back-to-back singles by Del Villar and Jordan Carrington that have created bases full of Barons. It's the 0-1 pitch to Nielsen. Looks at a ball outside. Count 1-1. So the Oaks leading 5-2 in the top of the 7th inning. But the Barons knocking on the door. One. Nielsen takes a strike in the inside part of the zone. Count now 1-2. Due up next is Chip Mertz. The payoff from Kratt. A little bit too inside for a ball. Count now even at 2 as Nielsen trying to drive home some runners. He has 4 RBIs on the season, as well as a team-leading 13 walks. Can add 2 more from today. The 2-2 pitch. Nielsen went around, and they're going to call it strike 3, as that's now the second strikeout of the inning for Kratt and a major one in a bases-loaded situation.
That is exactly what Kratt needed right there. He had great command of his zone and his pitches in that at bat as David Solis is going out to the mound to talk to him. We'll see if that's it for Kratt. He's had his ups and downs this season on the mound, but certainly has been a key reliever for the Oaks.
Well, up next for the Barons is Chip Mertz and Nathaniel Williams as Spencer Kratt's day is over. Just after an inning and 2/3. And it looks like Chris Lozano is going to come on for the Oaks to try to clean up this traffic. So it'll be Chris Lozano facing off versus Chip Mertz. But we'll be right back. Oaks leading 5-2. So Chris Lozano versus Chip Mertz with 2 outs as the bases are loaded for the MLB Academy Barons. They trail by 3 runs. Chris Lozano looking to get out of this inning and allow 0 runners towards Spencer Kratt. As Chip Mertz takes an off-speed strike. Inside, count now 0-1. Chip Mertz is 1 for 3 today. He had a double back in the first inning and since has grounded out both times, the 0-1. As that's popped high into left field. Jake Schwartz goes over to make the play, and he can. As it's jubilant scenes in the Conejo Oaks dugout as the Oaks get out of a bases-loaded situation. And we head to the 7th inning stretch as the Oaks lead 5-2. Back here for the bottom of the 7th inning at George Sparky Anderson Field as the Oaks leading 5-2, and Chris Lozano does his job in the top of the 7th inning with 2 outs. He comes on as the relief for Spencer Kratt and forces a pop fly out into left field that Jake Schwartz is able to glove and get the 3rd out. So bases left loaded for the Barons, but the Oaks looking now to add a little bit more insurance to what is a 5-2 lead. As Jacob Galloway up first, looks at a ball low from Adrian Blanchette. Now making his 7th appearance this summer for the MLB Academy Barons. Most recently appeared in their 4-3 loss versus the Philippines on July 2nd. The 1-0 to Galloway. Ball gets past Buckley as it's low for ball 2. Count now 2-0. Blanchette with a 4.90 ERA has pitched in 7 innings, has 9 strikeouts, 5 walks, and 2 hits allowed as he will try to hold the Oaks offense quiet as the Barons try to mount a comeback. The 2-0 pitch to Galloway. Fits one in the top part of the outside zone.
Galloway 1 for 2 with a single back in the 1st inning. That was shortly followed by a double play to end that inning.
Yeah, it was hit by a pitch by Matthew Lorenzano back in the 4th. As Galloway rips one into right center field, it's going to drop for a base hit. It's a leadoff single to get things started in the bottom of the 7th inning for the Oaks. As Tyler Hawley comes to the plate. And the Oaks will look to build off what was a very strong 5th inning. Their 6th inning a little bit more quiet, left one stranded.
A very nice piece of hitting by Galloway there. Just got the barrel up and laced it to right center.
So with Tyler Hawley now at the plate, he's 0 for 3. 0 outs, just 1 on for the Oaks. The first pitch to Hawley. Looks at a strike on the out part of the zone. Count 0-1. The 0-1 pitch to Hawley. Looks at the ball outside this time. Count now 1-1. So the Oaks looking to pick up their 14th win at home. The 1-1 to Hawley. Swing and a miss. Now 1-2 as Devin Wilkes waits up next. The Barron it's been a tough season as they're 8-13, 5th place in the California Collegiate League, but really these road games have been the toughest. They just have 1 win and 7 losses on the road. The 1-2 pitch to Hawley. Takes the ball outside and low. It's now a 1-2 count. Now counts even at 2. Swing and a miss. Down goes Hawley, and Blanchett gets his first strikeout of the day, now his 10th of the season.
Ties up Hawley right there with that high and inside fastball after sort of going toward the middle a lot, and Hawley was fouling off some pretty good pitches and then climbed the ladder a bit and caved him in and gets the first out, and now Devin Wilkes to the plate.
So Adrian Blanchett, a sophomore at UC Riverside. He checks at first base, and Galloway gets back safely. Appeared in 9 games at a 7.11 ERA, an 0-1 record. First pitch to Wilkes. Off goes Galloway. Now he's caught in a pickle as it's thrown to Carrington. Carrington pitches over to Nielsen. Galloway gets tagged on by Nielsen, and it's the second out now, as Galloway gives a good little laugh to what was his former teammate. Both players played at USC back in 2024. But that'll be the second out, and probably not the best smart base running by Jacob Galloway right there.
Yeah, Galloway pressing the gas on a red light about 3 seconds away from potentially turning green. Just a little impulsive there.
Still the first pitch to Wilkes as he hits a short one. It's going to roll into the infield. Nielsen's going to get to it, but the throw is not going to be in time, as Wilkes turns on the wheels and gets the first base safely as the ball kind of rolled over the mound. Nielsen pretty much had to charge from shortstop pretty much all the way to infield around the mound to be able to make the play. Barehanded it. So it's a 2-out single for Devin Wilkes, his now second hit of the day.
It had to take a long time to pick it up for him to reach first there.
So Landon West up for the 3rd time today. He's 0 for 2 with a walk. 2 outs, 1 on. Looks at a strike on the outside. Count 0-1. As Jax Jimenez is due up next. Chops that just foul. Kind of an oop swing right there from Landon West. Blanchett played 4 years at Capistrano Valley Christian High School. Was a 2-time area code baseball player. And won the San Joaquin League all 4 years. He was a member of their varsity team. So the 0-2 pitch here to Landon West. Looks at a ball in the dirt. Count now 1-2.
Oaks still sitting on a 3-run lead over the Barons. The Barons will tell you that the game should either be tied or they should even be out in front with, you know, some of the defensive lapses that they've experienced today.
So 2 outs, 1 on. The 1-2 to West. Hits a fly ball foul off to the right. Count will remain at 1-2. Now the 1-2 pitch. And it's going to hit West, and I think that might have been either his neck or his head.
It sounded like it hit off the helmet.
Yeah. I mean, you could kind of hear the ding, and Blanchett goes over to just sort of check on him. So it's now the 3rd time an Oak has been hit by a pitch, and Landon West going to walk it off and walk to first base. So that ball just gets away from Blanchett. So it's 2 outs now, 2 on for the Oaks. Brings up Jax Jimenez, who was 0 for 2 today. His first at-bat, he was able to advance on an error by Hunter Backstrom, which gave way to Devin Wilkes scoring the first run off an RBI by Zach Mora. So 2 outs, 2 on. Jax Jimenez, the first pitch. Upstairs for a ball. Devin Wilkes at second base. Landon West now at first. Jimenez has 7 RBIs on the season. He had one of those in the win versus the Philippines baseball group. The 1-0. Hits the outside corner for a strike. Count now even at 1.
Jimenez, one of the Oaks with a home run on the season, came June 25th against the Arroyo Seco Saints, who the Oaks will see on the road later this week as well as at home on Sunday.
The 1-1 pitch to Jimenez. Said he didn't want to. He didn't go around. It was inside for a ball. Count now 2-1. You know, Jimenez is certainly a guy that should be in the conversation to be in the home run derby. Even just with 1 home run, he certainly has great power, which we saw in that home run. Probably the furthest we've seen any Oak home run go. The 2-1 pitch. It's upstairs for another ball. Count now 3-1. Yeah, like I said, there should be some good representation, both from the field players and then the pitchers. I mean, the starting pitcher we saw today, Charlie Decker, should certainly have a nod to be part of that all-star team for the South Division. It's a 3-1 pitch to Jimenez. Swing and a miss. Down goes Jimenez. It's now the 2nd strikeout for... Oh. It's up to a full count now for Jimenez. I spoke too early. Still Blanchett with 1 strikeout. The payoff pitch. Swing and a miss. Down goes Jimenez as it's now 2 strikeouts for Blanchett as he gets out with leaving 2 base runners stranded, and we head to the top of the 8th inning. The Oaks leading 5-2. It's down just to 6 outs for the MLB Academy Barons if they want to mount any sort of comeback as we enter the 8th inning. As Nathaniel Williams to get things started, and Chris Lozano back in action for another inning. He came in as the relief pitcher for Spencer Kratt with a bases loaded 2 outs and was able to get the final out. As a swing and a miss from Nathaniel Williams, he fouls that into the glove of Jacob Galloway, and that was certainly a huge out as it was bases loaded back in the 7th inning, and it's really the first real opportunity back since the 1st inning for the Barons to score any sort of runs, as it's an 0-1 count to Williams. Looks at a ball outside.
Yeah, Chris Lozano, saw him come in during the 7th and finish the Barons off quickly after recording 1 out after Kratt had recorded 2. Ran into some trouble. He had given up a couple of hits and hit a batter, but he's able to take care of, or he walked a batter and he gave up a couple of hits.
Nathaniel Williams now looks at a strike on the corner. Count even at 2. So due up next is Antonio Lujan. As the count's even at 2. The payoff from Lozano. It's outside for ball 3. Count runs full. Well, we can't really knock the Barons till it is really the last out, because last time with even 2 outs in the 9th inning, the 3-run shot broke open the game as that's grounded into center field by Nathaniel Williams. It's a leadoff single to get things started in the 8th inning.
It's a good start and the type of start that the Barons need late in the game. They need to start a rally and come back here, and down by 3 runs. Williams is able to ground one up the middle for his 2nd hit of the day.
So Antonio Lujan now at the plate. Yeah, well, they entered that 9th inning back on June 22nd at Compton Academy, trailing by 5 runs. As that is grounded, and Falskin's not able to control it. And a defensive error there by Falskin leads to another runner on base, which is now Antonio Lujan. So the Barons looking to rebound after that bases loaded situation, but this time come away with runs. And, well, if there's anyone you want at the plate, Sammy, it's this guy right here, Tommy Gooden, who in the past 2 games versus the Oaks has 3 home runs. He had 2 back on June 22nd. He has 1 today. He is 1 for 3. So 0 out, 2 on as he looks at his strike.
Certainly some pressure on Lozano, and, you know, certainly Gooden has a chance to punish Falskin and the Oaks for the error that landed Lujan at first.
Gooden looks at a ball inside. And, you know, I will say a thing about Tommy Gooden, and I just from my observation skills, he always has a good fan group wherever we go, whether it's a travel game or at home. His family and friends back in the section today for the Barons. The 1-1 pitch to Gooden. Looks at a ball outside.
I'd like to think we see why. I mean, aside from being a great player, you know, having fans in the stands, really a family man.
Another name that could be headed to the home run derby in the CCL showcase. The 2-1 pitch to Gooden. Takes a strike inside. Didn't like that call as he, with a little bit more facial expression after the umpire ruled that a strike. So count now even at 2. 0 outs, 2 on. Williams goes home, or goes to third as that's fouled off to the right. Count now remains 2-2. Yeah, that California Collegiate League Showcase will be July 17th, next Wednesday, at the MLB Youth Academy. As that one's hit up the middle. Moore steps on the bag for 1, turns it for 2. as it is a 6-3 double play by Zach Moore, and Nathaniel Williams advances third base. And I don't know what Lozano was exactly trying to do. I mean, it wasn't the most high hit ball, but he threw up his glove, I guess, attempting to catch it. But
well, he thought he could knock the ball down with his glove and prevent it from going forward. And honestly, that's not wise. That's not the wisest thing, because that's a perfect situation to rely on your defense, and Mora in a perfect spot to get the ball, step on second, and throw to first.
So Nigel Buckley, who grounds one to third. Holly's able to collect, takes a second, throws it to first. It's in time. It's another inning. The Conejo Oaks leave Barron stranded on the base as we head to the bottom of the 8th inning. The Oaks leading 5-2. It's back to the bottom of the 8th inning here at George Sparky Anderson Field alongside Sammy Fawn. I'm Judo Conius, and another shout out to our sponsor, Pizza Man Dan's, located in Ventura County with 6 different locations. Get your hot pie now, as it's Jake Schwartz to the plate for the 4th time today. 2 for 3. So he looks at the ball low. Count 1-0. Schwartz singled back in the 2nd and 5th inning, as well as a run, was part of that 4-run 5th inning. That's a high fly ball out into left field. Lujan does his best to get over to the right, is able to make the grab on the run for the first out. Shows off his range once again.
Nice play by Lujan out there in left field, and getting the backhand position with his glove facing up, and is able to track that ball down as it was kind of twisting off the bat of Jake Schwartz. A left-handed batter, the ball twists more down the left field line if you hit it the opposite way.
So Zach Moore at the plate, at the bottom of the order here. 2 for 2 today. Swing and a miss, as Adrian Blanchette begins now his 2nd inning of action. Was able to get out of some traffic back in the 7th inning, leaving 2 Oak base runners stranded. The 0-1 to Mora. Swing and a miss once again. Count now 0-2 as Cade Falskin is due up next. And well, if the Oaks are able to hold on to this 5-2 lead in the 9th inning, this is their last offensive time at the plate today. So the 0-2 to Zach Mora. Hits that straight back. And thank God for protective netting, because Unless, Sammy, you might have some spidey hands out there, and you might be able to pick that one out of the sky, but that was headed straight for your head.
It certainly was, yes. It was almost like it was coming for me.
Well, thanks God to modern technology. The 0-2 to Mora. Hits that straight back, this time on the ground. So count remains at 0-2, and so the Oaks looking to advance to a 3-game winning streak if they can close this one out here at George Sparky Anderson Field. Carrying on from the back-to-back wins they had on Saturday and Sunday of last week. The 0-2 to Mora. Swing and a miss as Blanchette gets him swinging and gets him chasing for the second out of the day, or the second out of the inning.
Yeah, Blanchette, he's done a good job on the mound. That's his 3rd strikeout. Struck out 2 in the 7th. Kind of got lucky when Galloway strayed too far off the bag and was able to get an easy out there. But he's been keeping the Barons in this game.
So with 2 outs, it's now Cade Falskin, no one on for the Oaks. First pitch. Falskin hits a high fly ball out to the left. It's going to land just right in the Oaks bullpen out there in left field, foul territory. Count 0-1. But yeah, like you said at the beginning, it is certainly crazy. This is now the final meeting between these two teams. To be fair, they faced off 6 times in June. This is just their one matchup in July, but it is their final, the 0-1. It's low for a ball. Count now 1 ball, 1 strike. And I do have to apologize. It's actually July 16th is the California Collegiate Showcase. The Oaks will be playing on the 17th. They'll be playing the Royal Seco Saints as that's chopped to second base. Chip Mertz is going to catch it on the hop. He throws to first. It's in time. And that gets the 3rd out as Blanchette does his job, retires the side. And so we head to the top of the 9th inning as it's one final chance for the Barons, but they don't go away easy. We'll be right back. We welcome you back to George Sparky Anderson Field as it's now just down to 3 outs for the MLB Academy Barons to try to create a comeback as they trail 5-2. It's Braden Lowe on the mound to try to close things off. And, you know, Sammy, we talked about it at the break, but it's all too similar to that game back on June 22nd.
All too familiar for Braden Lowe.
He was also the closer in that game as it's Hunter Backstrom who looks at a ball upstairs. Well, back in that game on June 22nd, heading into the bottom of the 9th inning, the Barons were trailing 7-3. So it's only 3 runs that the Barons are trying to chase as that's a ball upstairs.
And with more solid defense, it would certainly be a lot more interesting of a game right here.
So the 2-0 pitch to Backstrom. Swing and a miss. And for Lowe, he wants to, like you said, get the taste out of his mouth of that one. So it's a 2-1 count to Backstrom. He's 0 for 3 today. Inside and upstairs for ball 3. The 3-1 pitch. Swing and a miss from Backstrom. It's up to a full count here as Braden Lowe making his now 10th appearance of the summer. Has a 1-1 record with a 3.72 ERA. His one win came on June 28th versus the Riptide. That one's fouled straight back and rolls off to the right as Backstrom stays alive here. He has 14 strikeouts, allowed 3 walks and 9 hits. Last saw him on July 6 on Sunday versus the Philippines baseball group, where he also came in as the closer and had 2 strikeouts and 2 hits. He fits it in for strike 3 as he freezes Backstrom at the plate. Now just down to 2 outs.
That was a great backdoor changeup by Braden Lowe, and as you said, froze Backstrom. Backstrom seeing that ball outside, but it did not stay there. Curved right in to the outside corner and just caught Backstrom off guard.
So it's Jason Del Villar, and then with Jordan Carrington due up next. He takes a strike on the inside, and that's another good pitch right there by Lowe. Counts 0-1. Villar is 1 for 3 on the day. The 0-1. In there for another strike, and it's just the rotation that Lowe gets really confuses the batters. We've now seen it with Backstrom and Villar with the last 2 pitches. So he's down in the count 0-2. The payoff. That's going to trail outside for a ball. Braden Lowe, the sophomore who was undecided. The 1-2 pitch to Villar. Chases outside for strike 3. And it's back-to-back strikeouts for Braden Lowe as he's looking to close this one out. And it's Jordan Carrington with 2 outs, trying to get anything here for the Barons to keep them alive.
He singled this last time up.
Takes a strike on the outside. Lowe has just been extremely effective with his pitches. And on point, too. So back-to-back strikeouts, an 0-1 count to Carrington. Rips that right over the head of Lowe, but it's going to be collected by Moore on the run. His throw is in time. And that's the 3rd out as Braden Lowe retires the side to get the win. And so Charlie Decker be credited with the win today as the Oaks now advance to 3 games, a 3-game winning streak. And then they take down the MLB Academy Barons for the 5th and final time of the season in a 5-2 victory. And we'll now bring you here into the booth alongside Sammy Fauna. I'm Judo Canis, and well, great way to start this week in Week 6, don't you think, Sammy, for the Caneo Oaks, now on a 3-game winning streak, and they beat the MLB Academy Barons. They move to now 16-8, 1 game behind the Santa Barbara Foresters. It's their 14th win at home. What did you like from the Oaks today?
I liked that the Oaks took advantage of the Barons' mistakes. They made them pay for their defensive errors. You saw in that bottom of the 5th inning, the Oaks scored 4 runs. 3 of those runs were easily unearned. You saw the error on the middle of the infield, 2 wild pitches that, potentially made the difference in this game. If those wild pitches aren't thrown, the Barons may have a chance to build momentum there, and they may gain more confidence. But the Oaks, to their credit, they came out and, they fed off of mistakes and just fundamental flaws. But, the Oaks, they finished strong against the Barons. You saw them drop 2 road games against the Barons, the second one in the most heartbreaking fashion you can imagine. But Braden Lowe, he breathes a big sigh of relief after closing this game out. But, yeah, certainly just a great win all in all. And we'll see the Oaks face their first North Division team this coming Thursday in the San Francisco Seagulls.
Well, in the 7th and final game between these two teams, the Oaks come out with a win 5-2. They advance to 16-8, like I said. They'll be off on Wednesday, but we'll be back in action here at George Sparky Anderson Field at 4:30 p.m. versus San Francisco Seagulls alongside Sammy Fawn, Judo Kanyas, and the rest of our excellent Conejo Oaks crew. We thank you, and we'll see you back here on Thursday.